kids. This is Learning to Dad.
I'm the cool dad. That's my thing.
With Tyler Ross.
But what I do have are a very particular set of skills.
I'm gonna have fun, and you're gonna have fun.
All right, so it's been a little while for a Learning to Dad episode, but I plan on getting another one on the schedule here soon. I appreciate y'all's patience and taking the time to tune in here. Today is a special little episode because we've devised, with the help of a whole lot of guests, a Learning to Dad challenge. So my intention is to start this on June 1st with Father's Day coming in June. But you can start it whenever you want to if you'd like. You can find some more information at tylerjamesross.com/challenge. But we're talking about a 30-day Learning to Dad challenge, inspired by a bunch of all these other 30-day challenges for fitness or mental health or whatever it might be. We thought, why not put something together to, a series of activities or practices that you could do over the course of 30 days in the hopes of just being more present and deliberate in the way that you go about being a partner or being a dad. So we've broken this down into 3 sections of 10. We have a daily activity, we have a once a week activity, and a one-time activity over the course of 30 days. And I'll go through these with you right now. And it would be really cool to get a great big group of people doing this and, tagging me or doing like a hashtag Learning to Dad so that we could see pictures of you guys doing this stuff and get people involved and create some sort of accountability. And I'd love for you to share this. We'll ask you to sign up for your email. You don't have to have it. You can screenshot this list and take it, but we'd love to have an email address. Love for you to follow on the Instagram page, which is just my personal page, Tyler James Ross VA. And just to kind of continue building a community of people that, are entrepreneurs, that have families and, want to be good at as much as they can. So let's jump right into it. Again, tylerjamesross.com/challenge. You can find this list that I'm about to read off to you. But let's roll. So daily activities. The first one is health related. Just drink a gallon of water a day. I've done this for about the last month, and I feel a whole lot better. I'm drinking less of other things, whether it be alcohol or caffeine or anything like that. And my joints feel better. I'm sleeping great. I'd encourage you to drink that gallon of water early in the day, or else you'll be peeing all night long. The second activity, exercise in front of your kids. Every single day, do something, whether you're doing like 10 air squats or 5 push-ups, or you do like a whole workout of the day at a CrossFit box, do it in front of your kids. They might start doing it with you, but setting the example of, putting in some work every day is great. Third thing, compliment your partner every day and do it in front of your kids. Let them see the example that you are setting. And it, of course, is always nice to receive a compliment, so it doesn't hurt your relationship to say something nice to your partner. All right, next, select and stick to a diet plan. You don't have to go hardcore. Maybe you're just cutting one thing out. You're not going to drink soda or, whatever it is. Just select a plan that you can stick to and stick to it. Read a minimum of 2 pages per day about parenting. This would be a great habit, whether it's a blog post or an article or a chapter in a book. One of my favorite chapters in a book is, I think it's called Don't Let Your Kids Do Anything That Makes You Dislike Them by Jordan Peterson. And I think it's in 12 Rules for Life. That informs so much of my parenting. So this will be good for me to create some accountability of just reading something every day. And if we've got an Instagram following or an email following, we can share some of these things so that you don't have to go out searching for stuff. The next thing that you would do as a daily practice over the course of this 30-day challenge is tell your kids something about life that you appreciate and ask them to do the same. It's just wherever your mind is, you get to direct it towards some expression of appreciation, and the same with your kids. When you're feeling appreciative for something, it's hard to feel shitty about something else. All right, and then the next thing, the last final activity for the daily activities is simply to intervene. I know some people, and this isn't going to be a perfect checklist, because some people are single dads or single moms, which again, this can be moms or dads doing this. It could be, this may not fit perfectly, so it's not like we're keeping score here. We're just trying to do the best we can. But this one is intervene. So I know in my household, the soundtrack to my wife's life is basically mom, mom, whether it's from the other room or across the house or in the yard. The kids constantly want mom, and she has asked me to just get in the way sometimes, because they don't always need mom. What they want is an adult. And so every time I hear mom, I try to treat it like they're calling for dad, and it's already improved, our, way of being. So we've added that as the list. So that's the 10 daily activities. Let's get into weekly activities, something that over the course of the month, whether you choose to start June 1st or whatever day you want to, a weekly activity. The first one is cook a meal as a family. I think that's just more family time, and it's just good to be together and to eat. Another one to do once a week for the 4 weeks or over the course of 30 days is to just call somebody to check in or express some gratitude for them. Don't text them or email them, but actually get on the horn, make the phone call, and just imagine how good it would feel to be on the receiving end of that, of, maybe it's a parent, or maybe it's a work colleague, or somebody that influenced you as a teacher a bajillion years ago, whatever it is. But just call them, tell them you were thinking about them, and you had this memory and you just wanted to share it with them. I think that would feel good for you and feel good for them, because part of this is paying it forward and trying to spread some love and some appreciation and desire to improve yourself as an individual, business person, parent, partner, whatever it is. Next one, like to take into some consideration the idea that some of your kids might be gone or older or, off to college or whatever. Record a video of yourself telling your kids that you love them and send it to them just once a week. Your daughter, your son, whatever it is. It could be silly, it could be heartfelt, whatever it is, but just to let them know that you're thinking about them and you love them. How many people have a video of their parents saying, hey, I love you? That's a really cool thing. And maybe they'd get some sort of extended value from it. Looking at it at different times, or just that in that moment receiving it and getting it is wonderful. And once a week for a month, let's do a game night. So just again, another time to work together with your family. Another is the next weekly activity is to once a week turn off the TV and turn on some music. We have so much fun when we get out of our little screen habit, crank on some tunes, and you can do this while you're cooking a meal, get a twofer on that one. Maybe a dance party breaks out. It's a lot of fun to get moving with your family like that. Okay. Another one for some mental health here is to sit in the same room quietly together. It can be challenging with kids of different ages, but just for 10 minutes. 10 minutes once a week for 4 weeks. Sit quietly together with your family. You could be meditating, stretching, working out, making a game out of, trying to be silent. You could be reading a book or the paper. Maybe that's when you're reading your 2 pages a day. But just take 2 minutes, sit quietly, and, enjoy that just presence of your family. The next thing to do 4 times over the course of a month is to discuss a serious decision you're about to make and ask for your kids' input. Whether it's work, your personal finances, credit cards, vacations, whether your kid is 3 years old or 50 years old, you've got a really interesting perspective that's not being tapped all the time. Ask someone that's clueless about credit cards. They might have a way of thinking about it they never would. Jesse Itzler, one of our guests on the podcast, has said, try doing something like it's never been done before, and that creates a new perspective, and kids have that perspective, and it extends them an amount of trust and confidence, and asks them to critically think about something that they may or may not have any experience with. So you're creating that honesty. You could expose yourself to a perfectly new idea. Ike Broadus, another one of my favorite guests, an awesome person, says his brutal honesty with his family yields incredible feedback. So that's really cool. All right, once a week, go for a family walk for a month. Just short walk down the cul-de-sac, up the gravel driveway, even if around the apartment building, whatever it is, whole family. Take a walk. Could be 100 feet, could be 10 miles. Just do that walk together and keep your phones in your pocket or at home or whatever. Okay, another one for once a week. I kind of like this one. It's look at a map, pick a location, and learn about it together. That's, it'd be cool to learn an instrument together or a new skill, but that's something that could take a lot of time and money. But if you just get a map and then read the Wikipedia page of some random town in Spain or Zimbabwe or something, it's just kind of a fun conversation, and you learn something. Bring it with you. And then finally, your last weekly activity over the course of 30 days is to do something nice for mom. Just once a week, make her a card. You could do this with the kids. Pick some flowers. Again, something you can do with your family. Breakfast in bed, whatever it is. Just do something nice for mom. All right, so we've gone over the daily activities. We've gone over the weekly activities. And now for the 10 items and part of this challenge to do once over the course of 30 days. The first, go outside and play with your kids in the rain. It's so easy not to do that, but if your kids are 3, 5, 6 years old, 7 years old, I know that's an easier sell, but if you got kids in college or high school, or they might have a little more hard time with that. But what's more fun than playing in the rain? So just once over the course of 30 days, it's bound to rain. Go outside and play. All right, the next one. This is super important. We've talked about it on the podcast before. Get your house in order. Speak to your attorney, and this is part A and B, and speak to an insurance agent. For the attorney, talk about a will, talk about trusts, talk about estates, whatever it is. My father's a real estate attorney and does wills, trusts, and estates. And as a result, I have seen and heard so many stories about how horrible family members can be with each other when it comes to inheritance or money or what to do with mom and dad's body or whatever it is. It's important to lay out some plans, and that way you can reduce the infighting, and even if your family gets together and understands each other and communicates really well, it's important to have all of these things checked to make things easier on your family when they're already going through a difficult time. And then insurance agent, get life insurance and disability insurance, or at least look into those things. As soon as I had kids, I got a term life insurance, and it gives me a lot of comfort knowing that if something were to happen to me, that at least the house gets paid for, arrangements get paid for, and my wife and kids have some buffer to take care of themselves. And then disability insurance. This is a fairly new one to me. I actually am staring at this stack of stuff from the insurance agent across the street. One of my friends was recently diagnosed with Parkinson's, and he's an attorney, makes great money. He's been very careful and saved his money, takes good care of his kids. But his Parkinson's is going to prevent him from, extending his working career for as long as he otherwise would have. And the very first thing out of his mouth when I came to him and said, "Hey, I heard that, you've got Parkinson's. I'm so sorry to hear it." He said, "I'm going to give you a piece of advice. Get disability insurance. that's going to allow him to, continue to have income despite not working while he works through this. Okay, next thing, once a month, or at least once over the course of this 30-day challenge, have a date night with you and your kids. If you got 1 kid, 10 kids, one at a time, let your kid choose where they're going to, what to do. But just in 30 days, you can certainly find a couple hours to have a date night with each one of your kids independently. Let them pick what they're going to do. And I don't know about you guys, but every now and again, I'd get picked up from school early, and that was the coolest. You didn't have to ride the bus home. Mom or dad picks you up a couple hours before school ends. If you got the flexibility in your work to do that, there's a great opportunity to grab your kid, grab them at 1 o'clock, take them out to lunch, do whatever. But important to have one-on-one time with your kids, and a one-time date night over 30 days is a great excuse, great reason and inspiration. All right, next, have a family meeting and discuss openly with the understanding that all of this conversation is very private for family. Family finances and kids' finances. Some people are more sensitive to this than others, and kids of different maturity have different levels of comprehension for all of this. But I think it's important for people to understand. So often your family ends up specializing in things. One person does the dishes and the other person cooks dinner, and it never switches. So in finances, it's that way. One person generally pays all the bills, and so the other person really doesn't know what the bills are all about. So if you have a family meeting, talk about finances, talk to your kids, whether they're 5 years old or 50 years old, about their finances, and just discuss them and how you feel about them. Okay. Next, let's see, what is this? The, I think, fifth one, one-time activity in 30 days. Bring your children along to participate in your hobby, whether you like swimming or you're a gardener or fishing, running, you're an artist, or, anything that it is that you're into. Bring your kids and let them see you in your passion. So, and be patient with them. Understand that whatever it is, like if CrossFit's your passion, you bring your kids to come do it. Understand your 7-year-old kid is not going to necessarily care or be able to do it with you. And that might be a burden or barrier to your actually executing at its higher level, at its highest level, like going for a run with a 10-year-old. If you keep a 8-minute pace, 10-year-old might only be able to keep a 12-minute pace. So just back off, do the 12-minute pace, but just do it with your kid and do it together. Okay. Next, over the course of 30 days, as a family, complete a puzzle. I'll leave it to you how many pieces you want part of that. But I'm not a big puzzle guy, but one of the great joys I had was getting one of those big, like, million-piece puzzles. And every day for a couple of weeks, we'd sit at the table and drink coffee or, wine or whatever it is at the end of the day, and, put a couple pieces together and organize them. And it was fun because little kids can do that and big adults can do that, and you can find adjust the difficulty however you want. So one puzzle over the course of 30 days. Great way to spend time together and problem solve and see each other work. Spend one night outside. This is easier said than done for some folks. But some of you are avid campers, some of you have never been camping. Personally, I have not been camping since middle school, but in preparation for this, I got my hands on a tent, and someday in June, it's going to be hot as Hades, no doubt. I will be spending the night outside with my kids, and I just think that's a good challenge to get you out of your comfort zone together. All right, number 8. Discuss a charity, a group, or a person that you can work together with to support. Whether you're giving blood or volunteering, donating some hair, writing a check, or donating canned goods. find a way as a family to select a charity or individual that you can together pull on the same rope and find a way to help them. And then TV is easy, right? So number 9 is have one movie night. The hard part is getting your kids to put down or your wife or yourself to put down your phone or your iPad or the distractions. Be in it together. Even in movie theaters, people are playing with their phones. When they paid $20 for the tickets and $20 for the popcorn, they're still playing with their phones watching a movie in a movie theater. So watch one movie as a family together with no other distractions and just enjoy it. And then finally, this one's got a lot of leeway to it. Do one thing as a family no one in your family's ever done before. And it'll be fun having that conversation and raising hands and figure out who's never done what, and then finding something you've all never done and agree to do it. Just get out of your comfort zone together, grow together. So that's the 30-day Learning to Dad challenge. You can get the checklist at tylerjamesross.com/challenge. It would be amazing to get feedback, whether it's direct messages or emails or better yet, like tags. I'd love to see, pictures of families doing puzzles or camping in the yard or, going fishing together or whatever it is that you're doing. That would bring me an awful lot of satisfaction and validation that putting the time into this podcast and creating this challenge was worth it. I'm going to do all of these things. I believe I'm able to do all 30 of these things. We're not grading here. We're just trying to be better. And here's a list of things that I think and that with the contribution of others would help that. So tylerjamesross.com/challenge. You can get the checklist there. And you know how to, and I'm on Instagram at tylerjamesrossva. If you want to follow or tag or send me messages there, that would be super cool. So thanks a ton for taking the time to listen to this. I hope you check out the checklist. And my plan is to start June 1st, but you can start whenever you want to. So happy day to you. Thanks again, and I'll look forward to and if you got any guest ideas, shoot them to me. I love meeting people through others that have listened to this. So that'd be super cool. And happy spring. Have a great day.